Hey guys, Funk Roberts from funkmma.com. I'm here with Eric Wong from EricWongMMA.com. How you doing, Eric?
I'm good, sir.
Awesome. And today Eric's gonna just go through a little explanation on just hip flexibility and the hip capsule. So take it away, Eric.
All right. So yeah, we were talking earlier about my new program on hip flexibility, and Funk was asking me to explain one of the components of that, which is the joint capsule.
Right.
And but before we get to that, I just got to mention to your subscribers.
Yeah.
You know, remember that little bet we had at the UFC?
Oh yes.
I think I got the pick'em contest.
Yeah, that's
it
right.
3-1 or something.
Crushing there, yeah.
Right. We'll
1-0.
Yeah. 1-0. We're gonna keep a tally. But yeah, so the hip capsule.
Right.
A lot of times when you think about stretching and flexibility, automatic thought is muscles, tight muscles,
right.
And you just got to stretch. But according to the book, The Science of Flexibility by Michael Alter, 47% of your limitation in terms of flexibility comes from your hip capsule, your joint capsule, as opposed to 41% from muscles and fascia.
Right.
So actually the hip capsule is a more important factor to look at when you're trying to improve your hip flexibility. Okay. So the hip capsule, explain what it is. Here's your pelvis, and it's like a ball and socket joint, the hip joint.
Right.
And this is your thigh, is your femur. The head of the femur is like the ball. The pelvis is like the socket, and it's supposed to move like this. It can move all around, all different directions, like a trailer hitch.
Yeah.
Just move freely and rotate and
it's
do
like
whatever.
Rotating in 3D.
Yeah, exactly. 3D. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is, we sit a lot. You're at the desk, you're driving all the time, watching TV.
Yeah.
Even if you're a grappler and you're always in that, guard, you're always flexed in the hips here. What happens is the hip joint capsule can get out of center.
Right. Okay.
And when it's out of center, if you try to do other movements, the bones can start to bang into each other, and it just limits your flexibility that way.
Right.
Okay. So what we've got to do is bring it into the center.
Right.
There. There's a lot of different methods that we use to do that. One of them is using the band for various stretches, and to do that, there's all different directions. We've got to take the hip joint and mobilize it, and then strengthening the muscles in all these different positions, abduction, flexion, extension, all the different motions, so that you can keep that joint in the center through all the different motions that you're going to go through in your sport or in the gym or whatever it is you're doing.
Cool. So like you said before, if I'm in a situation where I can't flex in a certain way, it's probably because this socket is out of place, right? Like, I can only go this far when I'm doing, one movement, or if I'm trying to go forward or press down, and that's probably because of the socket being out of joint.
Yeah. Correct? Yeah. A couple common areas where that happens is the bottom of the squat.
Right.
So if you're trying to get down deep in the squat and you feel kind of more of a pinching in the front of your hips, that's often a capsular restriction.
Right.
Another area is kicking,
right.
Especially with roundhouse kicks and side kicks.
Yeah.
So with the roundhouse kick, you've got to get that rotation, the hips going right around, and you'll feel often just a pinch, like a block, and that could be a capsule issue. It's often a capsule issue as well. Right.
And also you're talking about with grappling too, not being able to sit down into right. So
yeah. So another thing, it's kind of similar to the squat. Like the squat, you're going down like this, but when you're on the mount, on top of a guy, when you're grappling, you've got to really flex those hips so you can get all the weight of your upper body on your butt, so you can sit on them and be heavy.
Right.
So you can relax and be heavy, and it's hard for him to
buck you off or escape. Yeah. Exactly. So if you don't have that flexibility and you think you're putting your weight on, if your opponent is often escaping or bucking you off, that's probably because you're not getting deep enough down into that sit to put your weight on to keep them from moving around. Right?
Yeah, and once you develop that, the benefit is you do that and it takes no energy just to be heavy. Whereas before, when you're tight, you're kind of fighting yourself to get down there.
Yeah.
Same with the bottom of the squat.
Right.
If you're really tight, you kind of have to really fight to get down.
Yeah.
But when you loosen that area up, you can just get down smooth, and it's just, you get a lot more explosive in and out of positions like the bottom of the squat.
That's awesome. All right, anything else? That's pretty much.
I think that's good for this segment. Yeah.
So there you go, guys. That's the key is getting that socket back in. The hip socket or ball back into the socket.
Yeah.
And getting it right in the middle so you can move, 3D and move in all different directions without having, any impingement or any.
Exactly.
Yeah, any impingement. Anyways, I'm Funk Roberts from funkmma.com. Eric Wong from EricWongMMA.com. Make sure you guys check out Eric's hip flexibility. Let's just talk a little bit about what